Hey everyone, it's Sensei Victoria Whitfield here, your journey partner in business. You can find me at naturalintuition.com, where I help visionary entrepreneurs who are purpose-driven business owners make their visions manifest. It's my goal to make sure that they create stress-free business lifestyles. And how we do it is through implementing strategic meditation systems. Studies have shown that businesses that implement meditation systems have increased their profits on average around 520%, and I love seeing how the impact of meditation and taking strategic time to replenish during the day is really powerful for the business owners that I work with. And so this is day 15 of 45 lives. And by the way, if you are watching live, put hashtag live. It's an honor and a pleasure to get to be journeying with you, right? Let me see here. Who am I going to share this with? I'm going to actually tag the Rocket Fuel group. So I'm sharing that there. Thank you. And I'm also going to share it in my Entrepreneur Master Manifestors Facebook group. But I want to thank you for those of you who've been journeying live with me during this time, because it takes energy to be coming on here live every day for 45 days straight. And it's really empowering to know the impact that it's had on some of you, seeing the insights and all the inspiration that it gives you to stay on your journey as well. So that energizes me. So again, if you're watching live, put hashtag live so I know to include you in the conversation that we're having today. As well as if you're watching on replay, put the hashtag replay so that I know to love you up as well. And thank you for being my journey partner. So I want to talk today in particular about how your self-image is the key. Like what you tell yourself. This is my greatest takeaway from today's workday. And today was a very full workday. Today was one of those days because I'm traveling and I'm going for a retreat over this weekend, like up in the Berkshires of Western Massachusetts. So excited to get to go. And I worked from 9 a.m. till now, which is apparently 8:35. So it's going to be a 9 to 9. This is a 12-hour workday. Today in particular, so that I can go out and travel. And it wasn't like solid. I always have at least 30 minutes break between different appointments throughout the day, but I met with my team, met with all of my group clients, did an incredible podcast interview of Vince Green. What the heck? You inspired me for the title of this 45 Live, by the way, and led a meditation class. It's been a lot. I cooked. I ate things. It's been a full day. It's been great. And it's a pleasure to get to put a punctuation, like a lovely little period at the end of the day with you here on Facebook Live, everybody. So your self-image is the key. It's everything. And I realized this from multiple levels throughout the day. For one, in the coaching that I received from Wanda Toro Torini, catchwords.com, incredible strategist. We really connected deeply to who's my ideal prospect by diving into how they see themselves and how there's a gap between how they see themselves and who they really are, right? And my services bridge that gap. That was so powerful to clarify today. Thank you, Wanda. Oh my goddess. Hey, Kelly. Hey, goddess. Thanks for tuning in. Right. So, by the way, if you're watching live, put hashtag live so I know to include you in the conversation. And if you're watching on the replay, put hashtag replay so I know to love you up. And thank you for journeying with me. And so that was the first part of today's greatest gift, being the way that you see yourself is key. For one, is I entered into that in how I can serve more people and communicating the value of our flagship program as a company. And that was so powerful. And then in the VIP circle, we were talking about the difference of how we see ourselves between basically being the workaholic worker bee versus the queen or king bee in the hive. How are you telling yourself the story of who you are and what you do in the work that you do? Are you the worker bee or are you the queen? And do you know the difference of their different functions? Both are absolutely sacred. Both are absolutely sacred, but there is a tremendous difference in the role as well as self-perception and energy expenditure between the two, right? One step by the queen can mobilize the entire hive, right? Tens of thousands of units of energy, right, being all the worker bees, can mobilize if the queen says swarm, right? Whereas if one bee, one worker bee is having, some issues or something like that, doesn't mobilize the entire hive. So the order of magnitude is totally different. But if you are actually a queen bee, but you're not seeing yourself as one, right, then the entire hive is going to be completely disorganized. So that is some lovely biomimicry teaching that I only tend to share with my VIP clients. And that's like only the tip of the iceberg. But it continued to come up for me personally in today's workday, right? When I was meeting with my team and communicating with them, I'm stepping back and changing the way that I perceive myself in the work that I do, right? I kind of would see myself as like an octopus in the middle where, all 8 of my arms and like I got a hand in everything. And although I do have like a big team supporting me, I still have a hand in everything. I don't let anybody just do their thing. My story though has got to shift so that I can receive the incredible rock star level help that I have signed up to receive. And I'm at that. It's the last vestige, right? Of it's just, now I got to change the story that I'm telling myself of like, yeah, no, I don't know how to do that. I could Google it, but I don't know how to, I don't want to know how to do it. They are an expert in it. Victoria, let it go. Thank you. You can brief me on how that's going at our next checkpoint call. Thank you. Versus, I don't know how that works. And they do, but I need to be able to know how it works in case they go away or something like that. So let me get in there. No, the story's changing. And it's such an energy refund for me, changing my own internal story. And then I shared a session, right, with a private client, right, private prospective client. And it was, again, her story about who she is being to her family and her business. That was the fundamental thing locking her energy up. It was just a mismatch of stories, right? Of how she tells herself about her own self-image. The story that you tell yourself is key. It's everything. And then to compound that, on top of that, I interview Vince. And Vince is just inspired to teach about that. And so I'm sitting there on the podcast recording. I'm interviewing him. And I'm sitting there being like, this is for me. This is for me. This is for me. This is for me. And then I unmuted and I said, Vince, this is for me, by the way. And Vince Green, I love you, brother. You're the best. Big love. Oh my goodness, always. Such incredible, incredible wealth and genius there. But just to be poured into, and it's just been hammered all day. The story that I'll put on me, the story that I tell myself about who I am is the key. And if I can tell myself a better story, one that says, you know what? You are the visionary of a company. You're not just a sole proprietor. You're not just a sole practitioner. You're not just some little Reiki master or something like that, booking a session here and doing that kind of thing. No, you're actually, if I can upgrade my self-image, this is my greatest takeaway from today, and I want to share it with you so that maybe you could receive something from hearing this. If I can upgrade the way that I see myself as not just a sole practitioner, a sole proprietor, but no, I am actually the visionary of an internationally recognized brand. I am the visionary and sacred CEO of a company full of people. Right? I'm not a sole prop anymore. I'm not. The more that I can begin to tell myself that story, the more I'm going to start taking different actions, thinking differently, right? Feeling differently, showing up differently. It's really powerful, and I am in the midst of this. I know I'm on camera. I know this is like a 45 Live that has a title and everything like that, which makes it look like I'm teaching. But I want you to know that actually today in particular, I am more reporting on something that is emerging in me, and I'm curious. Has this been emerging for you? Right? I want to land this plane so that I can rest and ground and be nude and asleep at the end of my day. And I want to ask, is this something that's emerging for you too? This shift in self-image. Because, by the way, shout out to Jared McDonald, who's physically helped me change my self-image. Like this meet, so far, as of today, it's 38 pounds lost since November 14th, 2020. Amazing. And the meaning behind this meat on my body has shifted over time, and he and I have been talking a lot about what this body means and what food means and all of that. And it's just interesting to see that self-image story continuing to spread its way throughout my life and business especially. And so this is something that's emerging in me, telling a different story around how I see myself. And I'm curious, is this coming up for you too? Post below. Like, how do you see yourself, and is it in alignment with where you want to go? Simple question. How do you see yourself? What do you tell yourself about yourself? And is it in alignment with where you want to go? Now, by the way, that's a freaking intimate question, Victoria. Publicly on Facebook, right? So if you don't want to have this conversation on this thread, perfectly fine. Leave me a purple heart. And then send me a private message on Facebook so that we can have more of a conversation around that shift in self-image. Maybe you're going through this too. That's not so that I can sell you something, right? I only sell people who ask me. I believe in consensual sales. I don't believe in non-consensual upselling. I think that's ridiculous. But anyway, so if you're worried that like, oh, I'm going to have an intimate conversation with Victoria and she's going to sell me, I'm only going to sell you if you ask for it. I'm only going to give you what you want. Yes, yes. Right? I aim to please. And so with that, I honestly am looking to just have more interesting conversations. So leave me a purple heart if that's you. So like I'll be talking to you it's going down in the DMs. And I'll see you there. Mwah, big hugs and love. And so I'm going to land this plane tonight. Just remember, your self-image, the story that you tell yourself about how you see yourself is the key. It's the key to everything. I am realizing that in this moment, in this day. And I just wanted to park that here on today's 15th 45 Live. So I'm going to end this the same way that I do every time, please. Remember to enjoy the journey. Do not lose your glow as you grow in life and business. And I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.